Welcome to the ACE Masterclass, a new podcast series featuring ACE 2021 Critique and Awards winners. This digital series will highlight an ACE member or team in a short discussion to explain their strategy, technique, and personality. We hope to use this as a tool to keep members engaged, enlightened, and excited about it. Greetings, my name is Shanae Bradley, and I serve as Senior Communications Specialist for Fort Valley State University, the 1890 land-grant university in Georgia. I also serve as Director of Member Services for the ACE Board. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Daniel Farris. Farris serves as TV producer and director for Oklahoma State University's Agricultural Communications Department. In 2021, his team received the Gold Award for the category Electronic Media Video 6 Informational News or Educational Video for Internal or Student Audiences. The project was called Prescribed Burn Associations, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, Getting Fires Back on the Ground. Today, we will learn his techniques and strategy for educational video production and how he communicates science for change. Lastly, we will end with a lightning round to learn a little bit more about his personality. So Daniel, are you ready to master your class?
I guess so. Let's jump in.
Let's jump on in, right? So I must admit, when I watched the video, I was really intrigued because I had never heard of this before. So can you tell me a little bit about this? What are prescribed burn associations, and why was this important for you to develop an educational video about it?
So prescribed burn associations are basically groups of, like it says, neighbors helping neighbors, putting fire back on the ground. That's one of the main things that they'd said, like, this is the easiest way to describe it and everything. So it's basically, you have landowners that have invasive species or an accumulation of grasses that their cows, horses, etc., are not going to be able to eat. And so by introducing what they call a pyrrhic herbivory, which is prescribed fires, they're able to clear the land at a cheaper rate than coming in and mowing and such. And also, instead of when you mow, you drop the grasses that you don't want, are dropping the seeds and producing more. With fire, you are heating up the soil, heating up that plant enough to where you are killing off that seed, and so it's not going to reproduce. And so you're going to be able to come back with the natural grasses that have been around for millennia. And this one thing that's really cool is the gentleman who is in charge here at OSU is he talks about that this is something that the native tribes been doing for probably millennia, and that whenever some of the first explorers that came to Oklahoma, some of the first settlers, I mean, that they had seen, like, everything was flat, and there were basically no trees as far as the eye could see. And so the reason for that is they had fire and they were burning because they wanted to have their animals and everything be able to have enough food to eat. Whereas even today, there is a lot around the Tulsa area and such where you do have some like miniature forests and everything. And so it's kind of like, even today, they're trying to burn as many acres as they can. And basically, whatever they do is not going to be totally enough, but it's better than not doing anything and letting your woody plants come back up.
And so this sounds like a lot of, it sounds very scientific, and it sounds like there's been a lot of work over the years to get this practice, I guess, back on the ground for landowners. And it was interesting to me because I don't know much about fire ecology or any of that scientific stuff. And just to watch the video, I was like, wow, I've heard of people burning land, but I didn't really know why and
Mhm.
what came out of it and how important it was. So I think it was just educational to begin with. So who
That's
would
the,
you say? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said that's the point of the video. So I mean, a lot of it is like you have it where I mean, this is live on YouTube, so it's basically if you type in just kind of fire ecology, hopefully this is one of the videos that comes up and can be able to uh, just educate that just the normal person out there that has no idea but always sees fire as like bad. Because one of the things I always think of is if you watch the Disney movie Bambi, like the main thing is like the fires, they act like the man-made fire is going to come and like kill every single animal in the forest, which is just totally not true. And so it's just a interesting concept that I didn't know that much about until I had gone on a couple burns with them, and it's actually really really cool.
Yeah, and you made it look cool, so that I think that's a plus. Because at first I was like, I don't know about fire, but who would you say was your main audience for this video?
I'd probably say the main audience that they were going for were those landowners that are looking for a kind of a cost-effective alternative, or just some alternative to going in and having to just shred their land, or kind of mow their land. And so something that they can, or just people that are interested. Maybe you've heard a little bit, you said like I've heard about a prescribed burn association, I have no clue what it is. Then hopefully this would be one of those videos that would pop up on your search, and it explains exactly what it is from the members. And that's one thing that I really liked, was that you had um, the members talking about what they got from the PBA, the benefits of it, and it's from their own words. And every single one of these every single one of these people were paying the dues, being members, going on every single burn, as many as they could, kind of thing. So that was a really cool aspect of this.
Oh, how did you guys kind of come up with the script? Or did you come up with a script for this, or can you explain kind of development process?
We didn't really come up with a big script. I worked with Cole Fagan, who was a graduate assistant with Natural Resource Ecology Management, and he worked with me to compile questions to ask, and the respondents' answers. We took those answers and kind of organized them, kind of like a puzzle, just put them, kind of piecing them together where we thought that they would go best. And I think it worked out. Thankfully, we asked everybody the same questions, so we had a lot of responses that we were able to sort through, and then we sorted those by the type of question that we were asking, and then kind of put them all in the video and called it good. So yes.
That's what I was thinking. Was it like hours of footage, or piece by piece you going out?
It was probably in total, I think it was of recording time. I think it was basically an hour of footage that we were going on, and we just kind of just had a notepad and we're just like writing down, okay, this is this one, and just had each person's response and just cut those up, and then we're able to piece together, cut out some of the bad ones that were like, that's not a great answer, but then kept the good ones and compiled them down. And then from there, I just added the B-roll footage that we needed on top of that, and came out with the video that's out there now. Yes.
Okay. And sometimes it happens like that, where you don't have a specific plan, but you know what you're trying to capture, and you're able to put something together that works for the purpose of the project. So I definitely can understand how it kind of like comes together. So
yes, very much so. Yeah.
And so I noticed, and it was about a couple of days ago, I went back and looked at how many views you guys had, and it was about 600 views. And I thought that was pretty impressive, especially, you guys kind of being a small unit and you putting this on YouTube. How did you promote it, or did you promote it at all among your viewers?
Basically what we did was using YouTube. I just kind of added in the tagging system to where we had the right kind of tags for this video, and um, a lot of um, before this one we had put multiple versions up, and then they would ask for changes and extra interviews and stuff. But we had a couple that had a couple thousand views on YouTube on the first one. But with this one, this latest version, after adding the tags that we needed, I just sent it to them, and they were able to send it out via email to. They have kind of a monthly newsletter, I believe, that that one goes on, as well as with AdCon services. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out, and it has it'll have the top sign up video, this top open gardening video, and then top education video, and the Prescribed Burn Association video was within the educational video 1 month. And so that went out to, I'm not sure how many people, but a lot of people around Oklahoma and around the United States.
Yeah, so you guys kind of use a multimedia approach. You connected it to newsletters and other kind of publications together. That makes sense, because you can reach different people, or just people that may have been reading something else and learn something new about, fire ecology and burning the land for, the purpose of preserving it. So that's pretty cool. Did you have any results to show? Like, I don't know if you guys had any metrics in place to show like the impact that you may have had.
We really didn't, like, numbers wise, we didn't really have that, and I haven't contacted them to see if they had any increase in the number of Prescribed Burn Association members since the video went out. But I would definitely say that, based upon the number of people that have viewed it, I would definitely say that kind of that education, kind of at least the first step, has gotten out there, and being able to say, this is what it is. Here's, from a reputable source, Oklahoma State University, this is what Prescribed Burn Associations are, and here's the benefit of them. And so that first step of education is at least out there.
Okay. And I think that's important, that being your purpose, and also, connecting your brand to that, as far as OSU Extension, educating, like, people can see you as a valuable source based on the content that you put out. So I think that's a win. So that's impactful. So that's something I feel like, be proud of. Cool. And I also can say, from watching the video, I saw like some interesting shots. I just saw kind of like land burning from this side, and I'm wondering where you guys were situated to be away from it and safe. And so, can you kind of talk about how did you plan some of your shots, and what were you wanting to make sure viewers were able to see?
Well, kind of the main thing that we wanted the viewer to see was the prescribed burn going on. We wanted them to experience all aspects of the fire. As I know, we talked about people delivering water, and if you were like, you know what, fire is not my thing, I don't want to be really close to this. That we had people delivering water. We had people just working with different tools, or even using the drip torch right up close. And so we had a lot of video, utilized drone footage, and as well as GoPro and just regular camera, where we were able to get a lot of the different shots that we needed, as well as working with Sunup and also Oklahoma Gardening. We were able to get some videos from their archives to be able to show exact methods of prescribed burns, and they were very helpful with that.
Well, and it's always good to know that it's not just a one person kind of thing. You have to work with everyone, and everyone has to kind of put their hands in order for a project to come together. So that's cool to know.
Yes.
How would you say the critique and awards program has helped you improve your technique or develop your skill sets?
I think the CNA program is great because it helps just to recognize the video skills and talent that every university across the United States has within the realm of natural resources and everything. So I think that that's really good, as well as the critique helps you to know what to do better next time. I mean, like this is my first video that I've done that has that's one, um, and I think I learned a lot from the previous videos that I submitted, and to learn maybe how to better produce a video for a certain type of audience, or to better tell a story, and how to utilize my lighting, or utilize my interviews better. The CNA program will answer that.
Cool. And it's cool to know, like you said, this was your first time. Was this your first time submitting an award, or was it the first time getting a gold award?
This is the first time getting a gold award. We had got a silver award the year before but that was a group, a larger group project. On this one, still a group project, but I was kind of one of the more of the main people. I was the main person editing this one, and also. But I think whether you're kind of just you help shoot it, or you put the whole thing together, that really everybody definitely deserves a lot of credit on that. And a lot of work goes into these videos, as you know, and everything. So it's very awesome to be able to have it, see it come to fruition, have it be a video that is beneficial to a mass audience, and also to be recognized by ACE is really an honor.
Well, we thank you and your team for contributing what you've shared, and educating your audience. The work you guys do, and that's all of us as communicators. It does not go unnoticed, and so this is a good way to kind of just show what goes into it, and what actually, as you can see, comes out of it. Obviously an award, but I think the bigger piece too is educating your audience, and them being able to look at you as a valuable source. So I'll end with kind of this question. Who would you like to thank for assisting you with this project?
I'd say probably the top two people that I want to thank would be John Weir and Cole Fagan, who were the instigators of this project. They're the ones that came to Craig Woods and I, and wanted to create a video that would highlight all aspects of a prescribed burn association. And they also let me tag along and kind of probably get in their way with the camera as they are lighting fires and all this stuff. So I probably slowed them down, but thank you to them for allowing me to do that, as well as Craig Woods for shooting a lot of the video, and also with Sunup TV, the crew there, letting me be able to take video that they had already shot, and be able to use it for this project was really helpful and made my job a lot easier.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate you sharing all of the insight, and kind of telling the story behind the scenes of what took place and how you were able to get this project up front. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate OSU and all their contributions to communicating science. And so now that we've kind of talked about what you were able to do, we want to learn a little bit more about you. So
Okay.
we're going to segue into the lightning round. This should be a little fun. So these questions aren't as technical as prescribed burns.
That's good.
So we can kind of ease our minds a little bit. So to jump into the lightning round, let's talk about, what is your favorite vacation spot?
Well, I've been to a couple of cool places, but I would probably say my favorite is probably Glacier National Park in Montana.
Okay.
Really love it up there. I actually lived in Kalispell, Montana for a year, and all, but it's absolutely beautiful, and you can go on great hikes. You can see glaciers, see a ton of wildlife and everything from afar, of course, but that's probably my favorite spot.
Okay. Sounds cool. And it's a place you say you actually live, so it's like,
yeah,
you really got to experience it more than a vacation.
Yes, more than a vacation. It was fun.
Okay. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I'd probably say like probably go generic and probably say like cookies and cream. That's really good.
Okay. Cool. And the funny thing is, I ask people this question, and it's under the assumption that they like ice cream, and I'm like, is that fair?
Okay. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You never know. So, what's the most recent show you've binge watched?
Most recent show I've binge watched was probably Westworld.
Okay.
Westworld, great show.
Great show.
Great show. Yes, it's kind of a mind bender for the first whole season and everything. So it's really good.
Is it in its? What season is it in? Is it in its first?
7, 6.
Okay.
It's been going on for a while, and all. So that's on HBO, and it's a really good show.
Cool. What's your fondest childhood memory?
Fondest childhood memory, probably going to my grandfather's farm and riding horses and everything. So getting bucked off and falling in the mud and stuff like that. But I mean, it's definitely probably one of my best memories. That's for sure.
Cool. What's one thing most people don't know about you?
Well, most people one thing that most people don't know about me is probably that I'm a really avid college football fan, and just live and breathe college football basically all year round. And I'm a big Nebraska Cornhuskers fan. Even though I work at OSU, I really do love University of Nebraska and what they hopefully have again in their football program.
Is that home? Is Nebraska home for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm originally from Texas, but I just really love Nebraska football. I think I saw them on TV, saw them on YouTube when they were actually really good back in the 90s. It's like, I love this team. This is awesome. And so just kind of ever since, just kind of followed them and all that fun stuff. Even made a dynasty for them within the NCAA football that's put out by EA Sports and all. So fun stuff.
Avid fan, I can see.
Yes, ma'am.
What's one thing, I did ask you, what motto do you live by?
Well, I looked up mottos because I was like, I don't know. I don't know on this question. I don't know how to answer this. And so I looked up, found this cool one by Henry Ford. He said, nothing's particularly hard if you divide them in small tasks. And I was like, that's a pretty good motto to live by. So, I mean, whether it's have my planner, which disappeared, but have a planner to where it's like, okay, you have this big project you got to work on, but each individual aspect of it needs its own particular focus. And that really, even with the Prescribed Burn Association video, went into, okay, we have these interviews, we got to put together the interviews, then we need to add the extra footage, the B-roll on top, and then finding out kind of what each segment needed, instead of taking it as, okay, we got to put together a 7-minute video, or it's let's focus on this 1 30-second bit of it. And that really helps, especially with the video editing.
Last but not least, what 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
I would say creative, innovative, and probably fun-loving, kind of like fun and everything, just because I really like to be able to just get out. I work on the show on the gardening, and like to just be able to get out and be able to shoot just different shots of different things, and be able to have that creative flexibility to do something that's maybe not in the norm of just a straight on headshot of asking interview questions and such. And innovative, I would probably say, like, I don't know, kind of the same thing and all, but and it's the main thing is kind of like, if you're not having fun with it, like it's going to be way hard work, and it's going to not really be something you want to do long term and all. So if you can make your job something you can have fun with. It's going to be very beneficial for you and people you work with and people you interact with, I think.
Awesome. Well, Daniel, we've taken the time to kind of learn about you and learn a lot about what you do, and we appreciate the time that you've shared with us. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining us for this month's ACE Masterclass. I am Shanae Bradley, Director of Member Services for the ACE Board, and we hope that you tune in next month for our next feature. So have a good month, and thank you.